Just give the man credit. I mean, just at least give the man credit. No one's saying you're not good. You're just not number one right now. You're just not number one right now. Board Boxing, welcome back to the show. It looks like Inoue has been, kind of unanimously decided the pound for pound, the number one. And that is coming on the heels of his most recent title acquisition to make himself undisputed across 2 different weight divisions. I mean, the guy's a beast. He's done this in the span of a year. You've got a guy like Terrence Crawford, also super respected. No one dislikes really or even tries to debate the amount of skill that Terrence Crawford has. And after seeing the Errol Spence fight, it was in the discussion. You are up there. Some people even had you as the number one going into the year, or even to round out the year after. I mean, your fight with Errol happened in the middle of the year. So you can't be mad when other fighters are still going on tears and staying super active. We already had one belt get stripped from you, albeit unfairly. Didn't agree with that. You have your rematch clause with Errol. And as we look forward, no one really even wants to see that anymore. I don't think it's going to prove anything to anybody either. Yes, Errol Spence was number 4. Yes, you beat him in stylistic fashion. You have the performance of the year. There's no doubt about that. I think you had one of the best performances of the year. No doubt. But to say that you're one fight against the number 4 ranked guy after a lot of inactivity. I mean, really, your last 3 fights, one of them was last December of 2022, and the one before that was against Sean Porter in 21, and that was Sean Porter at the end of his career, albeit he still spars, he's in camps with a lot of people. Shout out Sean Porter, put me on the show. But Terrence Crawford, come on, man. Don't be delusional. Don't go after another guy who's definitely earned his flowers and fought great folks to get to where he's at today. Tapales was not a pushover. This was not a feast to some rabid dogs type thing. And Tapales stood in there with them and even landed some really great shots against Inoue. I just don't think it's fair, man. Like, you have your time. You have your time. And especially if you're talking about going up and fighting Canelo, and now you want bigger money, and now these negotiations for your future fights are taking longer. One, you still got to fight Jaron Ennis, man. I still want to see that fight. Now you're talking about going up to fight Canelo potentially, which I just don't think is going to happen. I just don't think is going to happen. If it does, it's a super fight. I'm sure you'll get the paycheck you deserve. But if you're going to fight Errol Spence and then fight Jaron Ennis, these are not going to be the paydays that you want, the ones that you're fighting for. And quite frankly, man, you're turning into an Andy Ruiz, okay? Before your fight with Errol Spence, I mean, the big, the true boxing purist fans were fans and did know who you are. But a lot of the regular mass media watching world, the fans that are fly by night and waiting for the big fights, during the build up, they started watching your fights. They got hyped for it. A lot of people picked you to win, rightfully so. This is just what goes on, man. Same with Andy Ruiz. Had the same thing happen to him. Relatively unknown, fought some talented folks, but at the end of their careers, gets the call up to go fight Anthony Joshua, wins. The thing is you most likely will not get destroyed in the rematch. And if you do, then that discredits all of this right now. If you go into February and lose against Errol Spence in the rematch, then that just discredits all of this. It would mean that Errol had a bad night and that your performance really meant nothing. I would just watch how you talk, man. I would just watch how you talk. I'm not saying you need to watch your back. I'm not saying that other people are going to have a target on your back or anything like that. Inoue has definitely earned his place. His resume speaks for itself. We're talking about an undisputed champion across 2 weight divisions, man. Like, you really can't, you can't negate that just because you had an excellent performance. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's all I got, though, man. Let me know what you think. Is Terrence Crawford in the right to think this way, or do you think he's teetering on a little bit of a delusion ever since the fame and stardom late in his career? Let me know what you guys think down below. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. But until then, I'm done.